Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Podcast. It's a show where each week we're going to be sitting down with Vincent Daly to get his thoughts on the latest movies he's been watching, both older films and new releases. And don't worry, there's no spoilers. Vince will give a brief review of the movie, share some thoughts, and of course, then rate the film. The daily ratings are always fair, honest, and most importantly, they're consistent. On today's show, Vince will be rating and reviewing. We have an anime week with our director, Mamoru Hosoda. So, we're jumping back to 2008 for The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. We then have Summer Wars from 2011. In 2012, we have Wolf Children. And finally, newly released, at least in North America, a film called Scarlet. And again, all of these films directed by Mamoru Hosoda. Let's get Vincent Daly in the room, hear what he's got to say about these films. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Mr. Vincent Daly, how are we doing across the table, my friend?
Thomas, how's it going?
It's going okay with me. How was your anime week? Are you feeling good about the week? You feeling strong?
I don't know about feeling strong. I'm getting over a cold, and of course, I sound all congested still for our anime week to make sure to sound like extra nerdy as possible. It really screwed me, but yeah, this was a super enjoyable week for me.
I bet it was.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these films are like hyper nostalgic for me. I mean, just a lot of these, actually, everything but our new film has been rated already on the site.
Right.
So I wanted to, in the goal of always kind of like fleshing out the site, getting recorded reviews for these movies, important. But especially when it comes to some of these where it's like, I've always had these movies in the holster of just like, hey, you want an anime movie? This is something worth checking out. So
yeah, how do you want to start here? Do you want to just tell us who this guy is, Hosoda, your relationship with him, or when he came on the scene? Why is he a big deal? Because he is a big deal in the anime scene.
Absolutely, he's a big deal, and kind of a very active voice in modern anime right now. And we'll talk about that with Scarlet specifically for that review. Folks, in the anime sphere, specifically anime films, there is an unofficial title thrown around to show the hype for new creatives on the scene. Calling a director the next Hayao Miyazaki or a team the next Studio Ghibli has long since been shorthand online to point to a quality anime. Actually, back in 2024, we covered an anime director that has received that kind of similar praise, the next Hayao Miyazaki, in our Makoto Shinkai director episode, and absolutely worth checking out. But if there was a director to start this trend among anime discourse, whether that be online or among nerds, it has to be our director this week, Mamoru Hosoda.
Okay.
The type of gentleness, the kindness to his films, oftentimes female-led, that really, I feel like, birthed that comparison of just like, we're looking for the next Hayao Miyazaki, we're looking for the next great among greats. Hosoda really has like received that praise time and time again.
Okay, now we have covered him. This is his second film we're covering.
Yes.
Right? He did Belle.
Yes, not great.
An early podcast. Yeah, you were definitely let down.
Yeah.
And the reason why that was trying to be big is that was a big U.S. theater push.
Yes.
For a true Japanese anime, correct? And one of the first of its kind.
Yeah, big IMAX push.
Yeah, okay,
and
gotcha.
you see the same with Scarlet. I watched Scarlet in IMAX.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I won't lie. I mean, it was a pretty great experience.
Yeah.
I had to drive a little bit for it, and wasn't great with the weather, but it was really enjoyable to watch an anime in IMAX, and almost in a way of just like, I kind of questioned like what screen would really be optimal for it, but it was just like, it just added to it. It added something to it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, any other opening notes?
No.
You got anything?
I'm curious if you got anything watched this week. I know you were talking a big game last week. I'm just like, I'm going to watch all these.
Yeah, I watched two. I watched two films.
Okay.
And came close to a third last night, but just couldn't make it work.
Okay.
Couldn't make it work, especially after turned it on for a few seconds, heard those cicadas in the background, which we'll get to.
I would love for you to explain your beef
A
with
decades-long beef. But okay, so yeah, I watched Summer Wars and Wolf Children.
Wonderful.
So I watched the two in the middle.
Great.
Okay. And very happy I watched them.
Yep.
But first, let's jump back to 2008. Yes?
2006. I think 2008 is the American release.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
No, all good, all good. There is a weird delay, though. I don't know why it was like a solid 2 years.
Well, that's
delay.
because it's 2006. Probably not as many people were asking for it.
Yes.
And 2008, people were just like, why don't we have the U.S. dub yet?
Right.
Because all of these, by the way, you can find all of the, well, I don't know, it's not the new one, Scarlet, but HBO Max.
Yes.
Has them, and it's automatic, just the U.S. subtitle.
Absolutely.
Not subtitle, dubbed.
Dubbed,
So there are
yeah.
no subtitles.
And there's a really good case across the board of all of Hosoda's films that, for some reason, all of his English dubs are very good, if not maybe
Very good.
even preferred sometimes. So, yeah, I know I noted that recently with Chainsaw Man, where it's like, that English dub is probably a no-go. With all these films, whatever floats your boat, basically.
It sure seems very good. I mean, yeah, watching Summer Wars and Wolf Children. But, okay, so 2006, this is The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Original title, Toki o Kakuru Shoujo.
Nice.
Tokyo Kakuru Shoujo.
Shoujo, yeah, that's, I believe, girl, so.
Definitely. Okay, go ahead. You lead off. Take it. Tell us about this film.
Yeah. Well, this movie isn't exactly Hosoda's first time directing a feature, but it is his first original project that his team over at Studio Chizu tackled and really has stuck with the company. Studio Chizu's logo is the logo of the girl leaping through time. So it's kind of their backbone of the studio now. As much as this movie was adored when it came out, it also started a little bit of a complicated trend with our director. Thematically, this story is something that Hosoda will circle back on for later rehashes, specifically in his 2018 film Mirai, for this like time travel piece. And throughout his more recent career, I'll be honest, you will find him plucking quite a bit from his previous successful movies. It is a red flag of our director this week. He just like...
He reuses ideas.
He does. He reuses animation scenes even, concepts.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, and I don't know. It's just he does it quite a bit. So, if anything, that's the goal in kind of watching this week was to really just focus on what I think are important pieces in his career and the best of the best. We obviously aren't doing 5 whole movies for his career. He has plenty of others, and I'm sure we'll have time to circle back to those when he releases new movies. For now, though, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time is one of countless anime focused on the high-pressure Japanese high school experience. Predictably, a coming-of-age romance with a dash of sci-fi to make the story stand out. It's also loosely adapting a Japanese novel with the same name that came out all the way back in 1967. Didn't know we were...
The year he was born, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. We focus on 3 friends who are all seniors about to step into adulthood. Both Chiaki and Kosuke are jocks with different ideas for their next steps. Meanwhile, Makoto is their tom girl best friend that absolutely has zero clue what she wants to do tomorrow, no less with her life. After a series of suspicious events, Makoto finds herself barreling towards certain death, only to wake up the day before to try things again. Turns out she discovers a power to turn back time, and like any teen, uses this ability in selfish ways to extend her childhood to her heart's content. Time waits for no one, though, so when Makoto uses her powers to run away from problems, she ends up creating new complications that will tangle her fate. I would say, unlike time travel do-over classics. I'm talking Groundhog's Day. I'm talking what we might discuss on a recent on a future side episode soon, Edge of Tomorrow. Makoto wants fully to have these abilities and abuse these abilities. Mm-hmm. She's not trapped in time at all. I remember when I first watched this, I kind of wanted more drama or tension around this, feeling that her character seriously wastes some time in getting to the bottom of things. Like, it became frustrating for me of just like, she's not curious at all of just like how this might be a bad thing or something. like we were like, a lot of the movie is just like, okay, she wants to do over singing karaoke better or, redo a test. It's like, all right, this is, at least, I don't know, strategize a little bit here. I appreciated on this rewatch that Makoto's arc is not, it's all about craving not growing up and doesn't want things to change. So these powers coming along basically enables her. It enables her running away. It enables her escapism as a character. Instead, most of the conflict of the story comes in the romance triangle implied by this trio. And it's not that it's bad or anything, but I always find myself just wanting more substance around the mystery to the powers, the mystery to the time travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more depth to it.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit more. Or at least, it gets there eventually. This definitely has some cool reveals to the story, but just a little bit more sprinkled throughout it. So... for the later review in this episode, when I complain about our director's use of CGI, it's because the bar is set so high for the fluid 2D animation here, and really all the movies to come in this episode. Hosoda's character designs are some of my favorite for how simple but realistic they are. He carries the same style into the next decade, but seems to just lose some of that magic that makes his the people in his movies, his animated movies, so grounded once we get to the 2020s. And even though he leans on, one very specific type of digital environment that we'll see many times across his films, the visuals here are nice to match the unknown time travel powers of the story. Again, we are operating like 95% of the story with like any clue or inkling or lead to like why the time traveling is happening at all. So we're pretty in the dark by it, so I think it is a good match. My favorite scene by far is actually the first time Makoto jumps, and it's presented in just this like beautiful watercolor style, looking like a Van Gogh painting or something like that. I get production budgets exist. This was probably a very expensive scene to animate, but it would have been a dream to have all of the time travel jumps done in this like beautiful watercolor, like really gorgeous. I think why this movie strikes a chord though with so many audiences is not because it's super complex or one of a kind, but rather it hits on a type of reflection on nostalgia that seems to resonate with so many. Films like Stand By Me or even the Ghibli hidden gem Only Yesterday have the ability to echo the very human experience that our childhood is fleeting and the very real desire to want to turn back the clock. This story takes that and molds a story around that impossible desire. Every leap staying true to what our main character actually wants. We're going to go ahead and give The Girl Who Leapt Through Time a 68.
Okay, a 68%. A good movie. I'm excited to see where this goes. I purposely didn't look any of the scores up.
Okay.
Actually.
I will say... Oh. There's readjustments. This was at a 70. This is actually a turn down. A rare, yeah. usually I'm always pumping numbers. I just think when it comes to I hate to say it, but like the rankings or the positions of certain movies in a director's career, when we're going back through these, this gives me a chance to kind of refine of like where things actually sit in comparison to each other.
These were very early on too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was, some of the first on the list, I think.
Absolutely.
Going way years and years ago. Okay, so 68% for The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Now we are in 2011. Like I said, I watched these next two. So this is Summer Wars. Original title, Sama Wozu.
Nice.
So that was an easy one.
It's so ridiculous. Sometimes Japanese, man, I mean, like, You tell me you don't have a word for summer? There's gotta be. I mean, summer.
Summer.
Like come on. Like, what do you? How are you operating as a society without these words that you need English words to bastardize?
Summer was okay. Okay, so
Or even war? Like what?
okay, well you get into it. We'll take it back and forth. I'll say right off the bat, I feel like I've seen part of this. Same thing with Wolf Children. Feel like I've seen part of them or something like that in the past. Didn't really remember anything about them except for maybe a couple of visuals. I was delighted by both of these.
Oh, great!
I was happy. I watched both of them.
Awesome.
And I'm just excited to talk about it. So you start
wonderful.
Summer Wars, and we'll get after it.
Well, yeah. I mean, to the point of like maybe you've seen this for many years. I've always held certain movies in the holster when recommending anime. Even though many fans of the medium will jump to shows or big long-running series, 1,000-episode series.
Is that like one? What's it called?
That's One Piece. Yeah,
One Piece.
Yeah,
my one Sherwin guy is doing it. He's like at 100 and something.
Listen, I mean,
he's going at it.
Listen, I'm not going to hate on One Piece. When I went to Japan last September, it was crazy because one, I found out Japan doesn't like the animes I like. I'm a weirdo over there. I'm a weirdo over here. But two, One Piece is in triplicate. Like it is the most popular. I mean, it's over Dragon Ball Z. Granted, that's like super old now.
Yeah.
But like in triplicate, any presence of anime, you can guarantee
One Piece is
3
in
times
there.
the amount of One Piece.
Well, it literally is over 1,000 episodes at this point, correct?
Yeah. They're even like soft remaking it. A new studio is taking a crack at the story to make it more condensed.
Wow.
Yeah, wild. But that is truly a rabbit hole. Instead of recommending these big things you got to put a ring on to get a taste of anime, I have always repped having a single movie not connected to anything larger was always the better gateway drug in my eyes. And Summer Wars hit that sweet spot for me, being a self-contained story that still holds many of the tropes and styles and cliches of larger series, but most of all, having that wow factor to hook any potential fan, I think part of that magic is how our director hit just absolute gold with this premise in a way that seems like he thinks he can't outdo himself. Once again, Hosoda, you're a tricky man. He takes his old stuff and he just rearranges it.
Oh, is he rearranging here? See, I wouldn't know any of that.
Yeah.
I just have to look at it for what it is.
Not only is the cyberspace kind of crisis in this a rehash of Hosoda's very first film, he did the Digimon movie in 2000.
Oh.
And let me tell you, boy, if there's ever a birthday episode for me, Digimon the movie, Digimon the movie 2000 is going on there.
Okay, all right.
But it literally is a carbon copy of this movie. This movie,
really?
Yeah, the same. How there's a cyber attack. It's escalating. Kids on the outside are trying to get in on the inside, or influence on the inside.
Oh, he really is redoing it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I was blown away by it because with it being 2000, I have this one wrong. I said
2009.
It's 2000. I said 2011.
Oh, okay.
What am I doing?
No. I think that's probably
the redubs.
Yeah, you
or
probably
when maybe got a U.S. release
or licensing or something like that.
That's probably what it. Because it didn't make sense to me that Wolf Children came out in 2012.
Right.
This was 11. It didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Okay, this is making more sense now. I was going to say, okay, so even going back to 2009 then.
Yeah.
With this movie, I thought he was ahead of his time with this.
Sure.
I thought it was very pertinent. Is that the right word to use?
Right. The cyber attack aspect of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But even just like the Avatar thing, how everyone's kind of just like way too online, and if one guy takes something out online, it affects its entire web and just affects everybody, and it affects the globe. I mean, I thought he was way ahead of his time on it. I was really kind of impressed.
Absolutely.
I really was.
Absolutely.
From so many different aspects to it.
Yeah, I think coming back to like the sci-fi world building here is like, again, I have some serious thoughts of like where this hits and where more modern stuff doesn't. It misses the mark a little bit there. This is also, again, later rehashed in concept with his more recent film, Belle, which just, we covered a few years back. Completely takes the same type of cyber environment, and maybe at a certain point it's kind of a homage to his own work, you could argue, but
That's interesting. You know what,
He's got a bad trend.
No, you know what? No.
He needs to have a little bit of a goldfish brain.
I'm actually not going to shit on this.
No?
Because you look at, this is like, it's almost a very old school thing to do in Hollywood.
Sure.
John Ford has literally made this same movie twice or something like that.
I need a counter of the John Ford reference, the inappropriate John Ford reference.
No, it's totally appropriate. No, I'll keep on going with it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so think about it. John Ford made, I think even John Ford made 2 versions of the 3 Godfathers, by the way.
Really?
Like a very, very early on one. I want to say with no sound.
I think we even touched on it. It's like lost media. Like
I believe
find
so.
It. Yeah.
Don't forget. No. What am I talking about? I'll do another. Who's my guy? Oh my God, the one who did Rio Bravo. My guy, Red River. Holy shit. Howard Hawks.
Yes.
Howard Hawks did Rio Bravo, and then he did El Dorado, which is basically the same film. And then he did Rio Lobo, which kind of tries to do the same thing as well.
That's great.
So it's kind of the same concept there. We covered, was it Hitchcock, who literally did the same film, but like 20 years apart?
That's
I'm
true.
Sorry, this is an old school thing. So he's kind of taking same premises, rerouting them. This is absolute... Rio Bravo, El Dorado stuff, Rio Lobo.
I love that. I always think, like, in the reference of, like, especially when we cover directors in a bad sense, like, the prospect of us interviewing them at some point, I would love for you to make that comparison.
It's going to be comparisons to old westerns and food analogies. That's
like, oh, yes.
Anyway, so I'm sticking to my guns on that. I actually don't get mad at him for this.
You might have turned me around a little bit. Rehash or not, though, luckily, in my opinion, Summer Wars is the film that pulls this concept off the best, creating a sci-fi digital fairy tale that runs side by side with a coming-of-age story, making a satisfying hook for anime fans new and old alike. The story welcomes us to the digital world of Oz, a virtual reality space that anyone and everyone on the planet utilizes. From being a universal communication hub to economic nexus to, most of all, the center of all online entertainment, the use of Oz is as ubiquitous as culture itself. As revolutionary as this technology is, it runs under a very traditional family story, though. Kenji is a math genius and self-described code monkey for Oz, who's pulled into kind of a romantic scheme by his classmate Natsuki, who has to attend a high-pressure family reunion over the summer for her grandmother's 90th birthday. Natsuki's family runs back many generations with a lot of messy history. Fleeing his unwanted social responsibilities in this environment, Kenji solves an equation that frames himself hacking into Oz, now spotlighting him as a criminal at this reunion, his worst nightmare. But what is unleashed is no ordinary cyber attack, as the artificial intelligence love machine seemingly likes to play games and toy with the humanity that has become increasingly intertwined with their technology, with the chaos spilling out into the real world. Like I said, I think rewatching this, I had the most, in 2026.
Yeah.
The most appreciation for the sci-fi world-building piece here, and I feel like you might be on the same page.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool to have that inner workings of an avatar and just basic social media web service. Social media was very different in 2009.
Right.
Extraordinarily different. Not to mention, these movies take a while to make.
Yeah.
So this was really in the planning, I'm sure, in 2007, 2008.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, but just that connection of what social media can do, and then also when it can be corrupted in a certain way,
right.
And then how he took that visually. Again, just the fact that we're approaching over 15 years, I was kind of blown away by it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
A lot of appreciation.
Yeah. I think for me, let's get one thing straight. This movie came out way before any of these like mainstream concepts of virtual digital spaces that we live in.
Yeah.
Like Facebook's metaverse, or even like the pop culture vomit of like Ready Player One or something
That was my doubleheader potentially.
Yeah. I mean, it any kind of like VR space for sure. This, I feel like, still does it better. Like I said, Hosoda basically attempts the same sci-fi world building here 3 times over his career, so maybe it's not an exactly fair comparison, but I think there is a bit of magic to this coming out in 2009 specifically. While Oz represents everything a virtual world can be, there's nothing tacky inserted when it comes to advertisements or product placement. And while I have no doubt, no doubt, that in our current age of like Fortnite sludge, that the prevailing virtual world would be just covered in brands, it's really refreshing that Oz is scrubbed clean of any of that, you know?
Scrub clean or just very, very proto. I mean, you know what I mean?
True.
It is. That's the one thing about it. It's not exactly the most detailed thing we're looking at now.
True.
You know, this many years later.
Yeah, and
so
I mean,
it's simple. There's a simplicity of it.
Right. Production-wise, maybe he also couldn't get licensing or anything like that.
Right,
So
but
that's fair.
At the same point, it's not about being... The movie really, at its core, isn't about being plugged in to the grid, which is what you want in a Tron movie. It really is, and that's how Hosoda and a lot of animes that are so touching like this, it is about actually the human element.
Yes, absolutely.
And the heart between these two films and what I'm picking up through Hosoda is what was actually selling me on it. And just the cool aspect of just like, wow, a little bit of ahead of his time.
Yeah.
I just added to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Kept it modern enough.
Yeah.
It didn't feel overaged.
Didn't feel dated, despite,
it felt,
again, 2009 is an old movie by now.
And it just felt a little oversimplified in the digital world.
Sure.
When you're on the grid. But
Right. Honestly, I think for me, where it does stand out, though, as potentially not working for someone as far-fetched, is that it's almost in a Star Trek way, the technology in the story is not tainted by the reality we know. It's idealistic. In this like pre-2010s outlook, it comes off almost like utopian. It's not tainted by apps or how commercialized technology becomes in the next decade and obviously moving forward. You can also say the same thing about like the fantasy of accessing Oz from any device, regardless of its limitation. I mean, like the dream of having access to this virtual world using something as low-tech as like a flip phone in 2009, might come off as unbelievable, but I would argue it's central to, again, the sci-fi world building in a story of how Oz is truly for everyone, and again, ubiquitous as culture itself. Like it really is the culture of this story. So... On the opposite end of that is exactly what you're talking about, Tom, though, is this human element of the story, which, again, hits a lot of your typical awkward anime romance tropes. That certainly plays into why I feel like this has always kind of stood out as such an easy recommendation to new anime fans. But at the same time, this romantic plot gives room to create a wonderful family story. And once again, is just a great introduction to anime because of how Japanese it feels. Like, actually, like true Japanese culture here. How determination and community is such a key point to the story. The Jinouchi family really at the center of everything.
I want a second film on that family.
Yeah. Maybe like Back in Time or something like
when
that.
the grandmother's kind of more
That'd be great.
younger and running things.
That'd be great.
There's a whole other story there that's barely touched on.
Absolutely. I would say even like the romance, it's cutesy and romantic without getting creepy or like fan servicey, which again partly plays into where Hosoda is praised side by side with the Miyazaki of just like
endearing.
This has none of the bad elements of what anime is maybe even known for. This has none of the the not family safe aspects of it,
and it's also not super girly,
right?
Because anime gets pushed into another thing.
Sure, or even just having a female lead or something like that. Yeah. But there's just some real heart to this story of a family doing what they can to help an unfolding crisis. And yes, at times, maybe that's a little disconnected from how digital some of the plot feels, but they just focus on what they can control. And that just feels like the most Japanese thing possible within the story. Like it really does feel like, Kaizen, like the Japanese philosophy at the root of this story is really, really powerful. So... I'm glad that you loved like that element the most. That stood out.
I don't know what Kaizen means, but sure, I'm on board with that. I think the Kaizen of this film was absolutely outstanding. But but that's it. At the heart of this guy is the heart of the film.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everything else is kind of window dressings, but no matter what, do we care about our two main characters? And really with this, there's some extending characters as well.
Yeah. I think all the family is super enjoyable.
Done super well.
Yeah.
Done incredibly well. And not Americanized, but something that here in the States we can also totally connect with and enjoy.
Yeah.
I will say, listen, I mean... Look, the U.S. is U.S. If we got to be everybody's punching bag because we're the easy targets, fine, go for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like that wasn't picked up on, though. You know what I mean? I'm just
even back in 2009.
I'm not going to say it's losing a lace or anything, but Just saying.
That's great.
It's okay. I get it.
Oh man, I really do love this movie though. I'm ecstatic to hear that it worked so much for you as well. Whether it was like a half watch or something, stood out, from previously. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just a total joy to rewatch this week. I love the soundtrack, the clicking clocks, the digital noises just amps up the stress in so many scenes. The action is dope. It's got some great fight choreography. I also love that the running gag of this real world baseball game kind of being a parallel to it. I feel like
Very silly, yeah.
I feel like it does a lot to be like, hey, guess what? If you're really tuning out on like everything that's happening in the digital end, maybe you're an older audience member watching this, you can kind of like understand the beats because of this baseball game. I would say even when it's clear that the gorgeous 2D animation kind of takes a back seat to that early CGI of the digital world that maybe has some potential to look a little rough in modern day, it's always done with a level of artistic intent that makes this, I feel, timeless. If you're an anime fan, I think this is well worth the rewatch in modern day to appreciate some of the masterful touches that our director bakes into it. But like it always has been for me, if you are new to anime, this might be the perfect film to test the waters with. We're going to go ahead and give Summer Wars an 81.
An 81%? Holy shit. Okay.
81.
Whoa. Big boy alert here. Okay. Goes into the honorable mentions on the site for must watch. Okay. Was that what was it before?
Before, it was a 77.
So you're not even telling me anymore. I had to ask.
We're keeping it hid.
Again, I'm okay with it because of how early these were some of the first scores on the site. No,
Yeah.
on the list. Like, again, going back to the couch days of the daily ratings.
Yeah, I mean, because these have always been maybe not top of mind, but I own Wolf Children and Summer Wars on physical copy.
Yeah, we watched them at Friend Group. We watched them over a decade ago at this point, if I remember them. So an 81%, big boy alert for Summer Wars. Okay, Vin. Well, let's keep on going now. Now we are in 2012.
Okay.
This is Wolf Children. Original title, oh boy. Okami Kodomo no Ami Toyuki.
Oh, that was
Wolf Children.
I think you're getting better. You're in some rhythm.
I'm so focused, I'm not even doing my Japanese guy interpretation. So this one, I started The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Okay.
Then I heard the cicadas.
Oh, yes. Oh, how did we not talk about that? Yep.
Okay. Listen, right. I have an issue with, and this came up when we originally watched Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which was probably 15, 14 years ago at this point.
This has come up when we have tried, the friend group has tried to show you like legendary anime, like indisputable classics, and it's something that just didn't even register for so many of us in the friend group.
Literally nobody.
Like, oh wait, the cicadas in the background bother you and like destroy this experience? Like,
so because I don't know, Japan is very hot. There's cicadas in the trees. Yep. Listen, we have cicadas in the summer.
Yep.
They don't quite sound like what they sound like in the animes, but this guy, he uses these cicadas.
Yep.
They're so loud in his movies. They're constant. He doesn't change the pitch at all. And it is like a nagging, it is like a chihuahua biting at your ankles at all times. This guy with the cicadas, I can't concentrate on the film at all.
Listen,
at all.
It's not just him. It's the real cicadas in Japan. Like, they sound like that. It's that same ring.
Yeah, I was going to pull it for the episode. I didn't have time. I was going to start the episode like that.
That's
how
awesome.
long can you last on the podcast with this stupid stuff going on? But
That's
just
so great.
Tone it down. Dial it back with the cicada sound.
That's so great. And the next anime, anything we do, you have to do that.
And Summer Wars, Wolf Children, not a problem. So anyway, I turn on Girl Who Leapt Through Time, literally heard the cicadas, said, nope, not doing that one. And then I turned on Wolf Children.
Fantastic.
Very happy I did, by the way.
Fantastic.
And can't quite make my mind up among these two. I feel a lot of ways the same and a lot of ways different, but very good in different ways.
Yeah.
That has me going like, I just don't know. Hopefully I can kind of sum it up at the end of this.
Yeah.
Wolf Children, 2012, set it up, take it back and forth.
Well, I'm 100% with you. I mean, I feel like this film, a little bit more directly, it works because it's so grounded. It works because, like, regardless if this was anime or not, this story would really resonate emotionally.
Yes.
You know, it's a good story. Folks, this was really one of my personal favorites for so many reasons. Wolf Children is a film I'd only describe as wonderful and is bound to resonate with you on some emotional level. And I'll just get it out of the way now. This was the third movie I cried to on the podcast, the first being Blonde, the second being Past Lives, and honestly, this was more times than I could count. This was
Really?
like... Yeah,
it's not the third one then, because you're missing one.
Oh,
Mass.
no, I don't think so.
Maybe you came close to it.
I
Maybe you
came close. I've been keeping track.
Okay, that's fine. Very fair, very fair. So Blonde, Nosferatu, what was the second one?
Somebody's burning up at the end. It's like, oh, come on, man. Past Lives.
Very nice.
You brought up something recently about the plane effect. About people crying.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
plane.
yeah.
I did watch Past Lives on the plane.
Oh, you cheated on the plane?
So it's like,
There is a thing on high altitude, yeah.
Maybe
I'll get into it now. But no, it still counts. It still counts.
But I mean, this is probably like the fifth time I watched this movie. Again, own both of these movies on Blu-ray.
Wow, and it got you.
Yeah.
At what? Can I just ask what time? Oh, you said you cried.
Multiple times.
The waterworks are everywhere, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was sick. I was just like alone at home. I mean, it's the music. It's the story of motherhood. Just how grounded this is. This hits for me emotionally in a way that a normal live action drama would.
It's wild how adult it is.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I'm going back and forth between these two films, because Summer Wars is so easy and it's just like you turn it on and you don't have to pay attention as much, or it's also got some funness to it.
Sure.
Not that this one doesn't, but this is a full-on more adult film, much more adult theming.
Yes.
The music does get you in a certain way. My doubleheader for this one is kind of like Train Dreams. Like that mood of Train Dreams where it does have you and it picks you up, but it leaves you feeling a certain way.
A little optimistic.
What I kept on saying about Train Dreams, too, this one made me feel, and I appreciate that. I can say that about Wolf Children.
Yeah,
the fact that I'm saying that about cartoons on the screen is something.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I didn't fall asleep once to any of these.
That's fantastic.
Exactly. Shocking.
That's fantastic. Well, as we
I would have fallen asleep to the girl who left through time, those cicadas in the background. It would have been like white noise.
Yeah, exactly. This is a white noise, hypnotic aspect to it. That's so great. And I think that's something that I'm eager to kind of unpack in watching some anime and chipping through it with you, is that there is a real observation of like talking heads. That is a trope of anime when they don't have a lot of production budget. They keep the figures still and they just move the mouths.
Yes.
Talking heads.
Yes.
And that can be visually boring and is something of like maybe older animes, but it is present throughout all of anime.
I brought it up to you. That's why I can't do it.
Yeah.
You tried to get me to watch like the bartending anime show.
Oh.
Because you were like, this is perfect. Bartender,
Love
it's cool.
Bartender.
I probably would
That's
love
a gem.
it. But it's a lot of that where still shot guys, sometimes the mouths aren't even moving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I cannot do it. It is it's so removed.
Yeah, that's a great callback, though. Bartender is like a true gem in the rough. That is like no one knows about that show. That's great. Like I said, the animes I like, Japan doesn't even like.
That's so funny.
like, I'm a weirdo over there.
But this is high quality. This is high production.
Yes.
I remember when Wolf Children came out in 2012, because we were all close and everything like that. I remember you guys were pumped on that.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of an event that, another Hosoda film coming out.
Yes.
We have to watch this together.
Absolutely. And not like, again, genre-wise, not really like one for the boys. Yeah. This is like,
Absolutely.
But I would say, despite one group of the internet latching onto this premise in the story in the weird way, the film, again, works because it couldn't be farther what most anime are in the mainstream. And I would argue if anyone but our pure-hearted director would tackle this story in the anime industry, especially today, the film wouldn't achieve a fraction of its greatness as it stands, as truly enjoyable as it is today. Wolf Children is an anime romance and family drama, most of all, with a slight fantasy spin to its title. but stands out as one of Hosoda's strongest films because of how much it tells a grounded story of motherhood. The story begins in Hana's university years studying philosophy, her interest sparked by one seriously edgy loner who kind of steals her heart in no time. He reveals himself to be a werewolf, dispelling the superstitions we all know from myth and movies. A loving relationship blossoms, defined by their dedication to make it work with each other, both of them dancing around the implications of others finding out the truth. The greatest of these tests come when the couple has 2 children, unsure of how much wolf will be in either of them. Not that Hana has any more of a clue as her partner to the nature of werewolves. She is left to raise these 2 wolf children alone, as if the leap into parenthood wasn't scary enough already. Now, with her daughter Yuki and son Ame, Hana has to figure out all of the answers, but is determined to give them the chance to decide what life they want to live on their own. A very emotional film. I feel like, not even emotional just like how it hits for me, but just like emotional of just like the core movements of the plots.
Yeah.
Really like... it's so impactful in a way that, one, out of all of Hosoda's career, I feel like it stands out as the strongest, like I said, but it's not split in its genre in any way between action or even just like any other style in its runtime. It's a story of parenthood and single motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
That really, it really works for me on that level of empathy for all single mothers and the huge struggle that can be. I think rewatching this, I had appreciation as well for the script writing, and was just surprised how much conflict and friction is thrown into the plot constantly to keep things interesting, keep your attention around parenting, keep your attention in a way that refocuses its themes on parenting. Moreover... Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and not overly complicated.
Right.
It's almost just like, put a woman in this situation where she has half wolf kids.
Yep.
What do you do? Like, what could be the problems that she may face?
Right.
How do you deal with it? And it's nothing overly done.
Yeah.
It's very basic, true difficulties of what this person would go through.
Yeah.
And there's something about that I like.
Absolutely. There was, maybe odd to say this, but satisfying. There was a problem solving to it. You know, I feel like the plot kept your attention. It really didn't let up on, keeping things interesting and like a little bit complicated, so it never got boring, And again, you think about this in a family drama kind of way, it has the potential to be boring.
And I think in a Japanese anime kind of way, and the heart that's put into it, like we don't ever get the scene where, he goes crazy in the cafeteria. And he goes after the ribs on Ribs Friday or something. You know what I mean?
So
and then you have to freak out, and there's a moment, and it's, oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's not that. It's very legitimate, real world problems.
Absolutely.
That this young mother is facing.
100%. I'll make note of it later, but I feel like script writers can learn so much of this in not making drama melodrama or not making cliche choices, even if they're the easy choices. You know what I mean? Every choice in the plot development here always felt like unique and again grabbed your attention to it.
And it's the heart and almost the simplicity behind it that is actually the selling point of the film.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wow. This is happy day. Tom is waxing poetic on an anime. Wow. Phenomenal.
Especially this. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Eat your heart out, Del Toro. He wishes. First 15 minutes I'm watching this, and I'm just
Right. There is, Del Toro would mess this up. He would make this a little weird. That's so great. Moreover, though, I also think if let's say you're not on this, parental motherhood angle, I think it's also an immensely aspirational story for striking out on your own. Hana moves to the rural countryside as the center of the second act, and any audience, any age that has the desire to forge their own life, this is it strikes a very optimistic chord. So much of the movie's feelings are conjured as well by the playful and gentle soundtrack, though. Many times, I would say enough on its own to well some tears up in your eyes. This is the first collab our director has with the composer. Give me a second here. Let me readjust. Masakatsu Takagi. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah. You don't want to know how much I was practicing that. Even to the point of like, I need to settle and get ready to say it. They go on to work together for Hosoda's next two films as well, Boy and the Beast in 2015 and then Mirai in 2018. Just a great collab. I feel like I wish they would start working together again.
The music was fantastic in this. Very present, you know? I mean, it was definitely in the film a lot, but really added to the sense in the film. Not overwhelming. It wasn't crazy loud. It wasn't trying to over whatever. It just fit very nicely.
Absolutely. Takagi, I believe, actually comes from like an academic background. Like I think he's like a university professor or something like that.
Okay.
So maybe there's like conflict scheduling wise, but like it really hits on some gold with collaborating with Hosoda. Really good stuff. I'm never really one to rep live action remakes of anime, but if I ever had to pick one, this might be it.
Really?
Yeah, I just think, it goes to show, to your point of just like how little this felt like a cartoon, how little this worked at a level of being a cartoon or an animation. I think there's just some great potential, most of all, in casting. Even if you don't set this in Japan, the grumpy old-timer Mr. Nirasaki gives me a lot of Clint Eastwood vibes, especially from that Gran Torino era.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I actually thought about that, too, yeah.
There's just so much there that I feel like casting decisions are definitely like a dream project. So many creative decisions in the filmmaking and animation live in realistic terms. The way the visual storytelling in certain scenes is communicated is something you would legitimately see in a great live action film, and aren't like unique to animation. You know, I mean, there's nothing pulled off in this movie that is just like, you can only do that in anime, or you can only do that in an animated project. A sequence that has kind of become the film's claim to fame on this note is a montage of Yuki and Ame progressing through elementary school. It's a simple laddering shot that kind of tracks back and forth, swings back and forth between time jumps, communicating how differently the two kids take to school. Simple, but just very effective visual storytelling, and something, again, that could kind of exist in live action and be just as effective. Part of also that scene's popularity coming from Tony Zhao, creator of possibly, I'm going to say it right now, possibly one of the greatest film YouTube channels to ever exist, Every Frame of Painting. Have you ever checked out Every Frame of Painting?
No, I mean, maybe. What are you saying? He breaks it down well?
He does a video on this and just lateral tracking shots in general, and one of his earlier videos, but really great stuff. Really great stuff to check out. Now, normally I would reserve my praise when a film can execute something unique to its medium or its genre, but here I find watching this movie, watching Wolf Children, I love everything in the film that melds the possible experiences together, because they are just communicated visually. They're not communicated in a heightened sense of reality, in a cartoonish way.
You're right, yep.
It's just straight up good visual storytelling, whether it was anime or live action. You know what I mean?
100%. I mean, besides the kids are wolves, but yeah, everything else.
Right.
You're spot on.
But even you notice in like the transitions between when they switch to wolves and when they are switched to human, there's little cuts. There's little they dip out of the frame.
No, absolutely.
You know, all that could be done practically. That doesn't have to have a really flashy, CGI transformation or prosthetic transformation. You know, and I think that's again where I respect just like how grounded this is. So, like I said already, though. There is a surprising amount of conflict used to craft a story that just keeps your attention. But even rewatching this probably, again, 4th, 6th time, it impresses me that none of the obvious choices were made. This is exactly what you said, Tom, of just like, he's...
the stupid stuff.
Rib day at school. That's so good. That's so good. Oh, man. But yeah, there's like nothing chosen. I feel like even like the complications that come along in the story of just like, oh, wow, they take you by surprise a little bit. You know, they're not easy choices made. And again, any cliche point you could cook up in a script is avoided. And at every turn, instead, a decision is made to refocus on the meaning of parenthood or the themes of the film. Straight up, I think a lot of scriptwriters can learn from a movie like this. As on the podcast, we cover just countless entries, year after year, of dramas where they're good, but probably wouldn't watch again. Or on the bad end, like couldn't take the drama seriously, moved into melodrama, moved into an eye roll, something like that. Moved into rib day at the school. The fact that none of that is present here in an anime, in a cartoon, should speak volumes, and moreover should be added to your watch list if you haven't seen it yet. We're going to go ahead and give Wolf Children 2012 an 83.
An 83%. Man, oh man.
Great movie.
What was it before?
79.
Okay, all right. I'm fine with it. Honestly, it belongs up there. I'm really happy
Good.
about it.
I'm
happy
glad.
to have it up there.
I'm glad.
Yeah, no problems. I really enjoy. I probably did like this better than Summer Wars.
Yeah.
Summer Wars is just more attainable.
Yeah.
I can understand if people come to you, you can say, why don't you start with this one?
Yes.
I can see for an adult who isn't the biggest anime person, or they want to get an anime and they're a little bit adult, especially for just any female.
Yeah, sure.
This is just
Absolutely.
so great. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's really enjoyed it. I definitely can see myself returning to this and just appreciated the heart behind it and the simplicity and just the execution of the story and the entire follow through the arc.
Yeah.
Is fantastic, and it does get you.
Yeah.
So, it's fantastic. 83% for Wolf Children. Okay, well, with that, let's get into our producer segment because we do have a producer for the episode of In, and we have someone joining the Gump Club, which I think that makes you, I think Matt D at one point. I think Matt D got into the Gump Club, and now we have Loretta D writing in.
That's great.
So that's awesome. Gump Club, which is $47, but with the transfer fees, so $48.90. Loretta, we thank you so much, and welcome to the Gump Club.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm in the Gump Club yet. But no, Loretta, producer, donated in and also wrote in a short note. She just writes, love the podcast and appreciate all the hard work. You bring such great insight and personality to every episode, and the way you break down films, share different perspectives, deep dives, and discussions, it's so enjoyable. Keep up the great work.
Oh, very sweet. Very sweet. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. You are an executive producer, Loretta, of episode 225. We thank you so much. A great donation, very generous donation. We absolutely love it and appreciate it. Folks listening, the Daily Ratings is completely producer-supported. We are listener-supported. You're not going to have anywhere advertising. We're not going to take an ad break between every single movie like a lot of other people would do. We're also not front-loading the podcast with 3 ads. The new thing, by the way, Ben, in podcasting I've noticed, everybody's starts with 3 ads now.
Damn.
Before it was like 0, then it was 1, and
Right.
now it's 3. Horrible. Anyway, there's no advertising here. Also, there's not going to be pop-up ads. There's not going to be any spam on the website. And overall, there's no Patreon or tier structure or paywall, meaning we don't force you to give us a certain amount of money to gain access to the content or specialty content. Everybody's on their own finances, and it's not really fair to have levels and tier structures. We don't want to deal with any of it. The whole idea is, if you're listening, if you're enjoying the podcast, if you're using the website, we look at that as value in your pocket. So can you send us value in our pocket? It's value for value. So when I say that we're listener, producer supported, it's financially supported from all of you. If you go to thedailyratings.com, head to the donations tab, and everything is laid out there for you. So through your monetary support, you become an actual legitimate producer of the Daily Ratings. Because just like in Hollywood, when you financially support a project, you're a producer of the project. And with that, with your producership, send in a producer note. So that could be questions, comments, critiques, ask us anything, start a conversation, add to a conversation. Again, we want to hear from you because you're a producer. Or just send some love like Loretta did this episode. We really appreciate it. So you can email us at tom.vin@thedailyratings.com. That's our email address. So again, just hop onto thedailyratings.com, go to the donations page, and when you become a producer and send in a donation, you can hop right on your email and send us your note. We're going to address it here. We'll read it right here, whatever you have to say or ask. If you want to be anonymous, by the way, just write in, hey, keep me anonymous, and we will, of course, honor that as well. It's thedailyratings.com. Head to the donations tab. If you appreciate what we're doing here, and if you appreciate the 0 ad breaks that we do, we're excited to grow the podcast. We're excited to grow the producer segment as more and more people contribute in. We are building a little family here, so join in, become a producer. And the best part about it is value for value. So there's a big value for value button there. You click that, and it's whatever. Again, everyone's on their own finances, so is it just a cup of coffee? Does that mean something to you? It means something to us. Or is $500 not a big sum to you? Is $5,000 not a lot of money to you? Well, then we certainly appreciate that as well.
You're always throwing out that 5,000.
Whatever, it could be 50 grand, whatever.
We need to get a sugar daddy for the for the podcast.
But the point is, it's whatever you want. We don't want to peg a number to it. It's what are you getting from the show? You're listening every week, or you're listening once in a while, but you really enjoy it? Well, is that worth a cup of coffee? Well, head on over to thedailyratings.com. Like I said, go to the donations tab. We appreciate it. So if you do in the next week, you will be an executive producer for next week's episode 226. All right, Vin, let's head into the theaters. You said that you went to the IMAX. I was very curious to see which theater, because I was tracking it. It was because the first time we saw showtimes, it was far away.
Yes.
And it started to get a little bit closer.
Yep.
It's playing really close to us this weekend, by the way.
Yes. It has its wide. I feel like it intentionally wanted to hop into IMAX before
Limited release, and then,
Yeah, it was Super Bowl weekend. It probably had more of a fighting chance in the IMAX.
There wasn't much going on. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, so this is Scarlet, original title. Hatashinaki Sukureto.
Wow.
Scarlet.
Scarlet. That means Scarlet.
I should say, by the way, all these are just shy of 2 hours, essentially.
Yes.
The Girl Who Left Through Time's the shortest at about 1:40. But regardless, I'm so psyched that you saw it in IMAX.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was fantastic, but I didn't get to see it. I am excited for it. Scarlet set it up. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so for any new fan of the podcast, this is, like we've been saying this episode, not our first time covering a new film from Mamoru Hosoda. Actually, one of the earliest, if not the very first anime movie we covered on the podcast was for his 2021 release, Bell, which we believe either covered in 2022 or in 2021. That was a packed episode, Tom.
Was
we
it?
did Nightmare Alley, When Harry Met Sally.
2021 anime. God.
Memories of Murder, which is Bong Joon-ho. And then there was one other. There's one other. I forget what it was, but that was a wild episode.
I like going back. I was going back. I think I listened to the hardcore episode.
Oh, okay.
And just because that's back when we were doing 5 movies a week.
Yeah,
and we would have randos in there. I always enjoyed the randos.
Yeah.
You like things to be more themed related.
Right.
But we did Layer Cake on the episode that we did hardcore. I think we did a Fred Astaire film or something
That's
like
all
that.
that rocks. All over the map.
It was, it's so good.
Oh,
Nightmare
man.
Alley, 2021, that episode. Early on.
Yes,
That was
right,
early.
right. Yeah. Even back then, though, I spoke about the disappointment of just such a great 2D anime director resorting to, at the time, underdeveloped, underbaked 3D animation, as well as it kind of feeling a little unoriginal, rehashing that digital world that you find in his previous movies. Something I probably could have spoke about a little bit more, though, in that review is how Hosoda himself sees this as a new era for his animations. Post 2020, it's a concerted effort. He's really trying to break something new with these.
Well, it's faster and cheaper, is it not?
Yes.
He's not doing hand-drawn stuff anymore. That's got to account for...
It's right. It helps in the studio element of it. He's talking about it like he wants this to be a new wave in the industry itself, in the anime industry.
He's actually pushing the technology.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. On that technology end, this blend of 2D and 3D he's going for is really intended to blaze a new style for the industry, similar to the evolution we see with Sony Animations with their Spider-Verse movies.
Which you love, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And even DreamWorks following in those footsteps of, again, doing these kind of mixed animation styles of 2D and 3D. So, great. I feel like the anime industry can benefit from that. The second is around the concepts or the elevator pitches on these movies, which I feel like I could have added and made a lot more sense when we covered Bell, because it's key to how these projects are getting funded. Hosoda has spoken extensively how Bell was supposed to be his version on the Disney classic Beauty and the Beast, and hindsight 2020, that makes sense. And now for Scarlet, this is apparently his take on The Lion King.
Oh boy.
That's kind
Listen, I mean,
I guess. Sure, but I think my issue with this should be pretty obvious. By choosing to loosely adapt some of the biggest animated movies, period, no less Disney properties,
Yeah.
you just kind of risk dooming your project out of the gate. But I will say on an optimistic end that if in an industry like anime that always seems to be teetering on the edge of collapse, honestly, whether it's like overwork culture or just like studios closing and projects dropped and picked up by another studio and yada yada, I can't exactly fault him for wanting to business up and some buzzworthy projects to get producers behind it. So, saying, hey, this is our Beauty
and worldwide appeal.
Exactly. This is and that's what plays into even your note about Belle being more of a domestic push than anything. And Scarlet is kind of gunning for that. I just don't know if it has the juice for it. So regardless, Scarlet is not your typical anime story, either for the project or our director. I think rather than it adapting The Lion King, in essence, it's trying to dig deeper and actually adapt Hamlet as like a high fantasy tale of revenge. And that really couldn't be more clear from our summary. Failing to enact revenge on her uncle after usurping her father, the Princess Scarlet is pulled into a mysterious realm called the Otherworld, a land of despair for the dead to wander endlessly, continuing their struggles, acting as neither heaven nor hell. In the real world, we're set in the 16th century Denmark. Like, actually Denmark.
Okay.
I didn't bother checking into maybe, like, historical figures, but...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, kind of regardless. Where young Scarlet is caught up in this, like, very Shakespearean power scheme, her father's death spiraling her on a path of lethal discipline with little room for anything else in life. Once in the Otherworld, however, she discovers... the realm is a kind of nexus point, finding poor souls converging all over time. Shockingly, this includes her own uncle that she wants to kill, dead further down the road on the timeline and now leading an army she has to combat. One of the farthest reaches for characters plucked out of time is a paramedic from modern day named Hijari. And together, they seek what any lost soul desires in this cursed existence, a concept called the infinite stairway, hopefully leading to salvation. I would say fantasy and anime are sometimes a hard match, believe it or not, for whatever reason. Maybe it's like creators of anime don't have Western fantasy baked into the media that they consume, where, for us, it's just like, lords and knights and, King Arthur or Tolkien or, there's so much just like baked into the cake. You certainly have classics like Berserk that are able to craft a one-of-a-kind dark fantasy atmosphere, but most of the time, fantasy and anime is achieved through some sort of cliche lens, like getting teleported inside a video game or reborn into an alternate fantasy world, and what many will call the isekai genre in anime. Very popular right now, too. Here, though, I found the world building established to be the most interesting part of the story. While the setting of medieval Denmark and a plot around like a gritty revenge, thriller feels distinctly low or dark fantasy in like a way that Game of Thrones would be. The implications of our setting, pulling from all of humanity's existence and that like time is not linear and everyone kind of converges in this purgatory, not only feels magical, but pretty unique among like high fantasy. I thought that was really interesting as a setting for this. At very least, I do think it pays off in visual design for the film. The endless strife of this wasteland feels distinctly apocalyptic. I'm not going to say Mad Max, but it's really cool seeing everyone scrounge together weapons and tools all throughout history. Creates a unique environment for that type of historical battle or action. One of my favorite aspects was stalking the skies of this wasteland is this massive lightning dragon, and all over this dragon you can see he's just riddled, covered with arrows and spears and siege weapons, all that have failed to kill it. And it still just continues on. It's just cool stuff.
Yeah, the whole concept is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And what is her? He's paramedic. Modern day paramedic set back there, and she's what again?
She's the princess of the 16th century.
Oh,
Denmark.
she's the only one living in her time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So let's talk about the animation though, because I really did have the same fear as I did with Belle for this. We do get entire 2D sequences specifically used when we're in the real world, and I can appreciate this because there's at least some artistic intent to when the style is being used, almost like we talked about with Summer Wars. But let's be real. Any scene that matters in this is this mixed 3D.
Yeah.
Our director seems pretty dead set on, making it his new style and growing that style for other studios to adopt. It's really more so like a mission statement of what he wants to do as a creative and almost give back to the industry. I think in comparison to his last film, it does look a lot better. I don't know, like the sky looked really good. I did have trouble saying, like, how much is IMAX helping this film out a little bit? Because some things did look really good. I also think whether it's, certain scenes just looking better after some time. We've come a long way in 4 years for the technology itself.
No, absolutely.
I hate to say it. I cannot shake the feeling that this would just look 10,000 times better if it was just pure drawn animation. And in the ways that, even perfect example, the climax of Summer Wars, that's not done in 3D. That's done in animation. That's done in 2D. You can call me old-fashioned or a boomer or unk, as they're saying online, but I'm telling you, this does lose some sauce in its 3D. I think a good example to point to is the action, which actually has some great sword-clashing fight scenes. There's some really cool, very fast and frenetic type of action sequences here. It's really fluid in a way that would take forever to make it in 2D, but I just can't help but be disappointed that this style is born from workforce limitations or a step backward in what the medium used to be able to achieve. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Like I said, it is cheaper. It is quicker.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It is less laborious because you're not hand-drawing things.
Yep.
For frame after frame after frame.
Yeah.
So it is just the way it's going. Miyazaki even is using a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Boy and the Heron, which was super controversial.
Right.
Not as much as this, but you know what I mean?
Sure. Well, he's kind of shot himself in the foot because he's been so outspoken against it.
Well, sure, that doesn't help.
There's a great interview with him in one of the many documentaries made on Miyazaki where a tech company brings him some new technology and they're like demoing it out and they like upscale, like I feel like characters from Spirited Away, and he's like, this is an affront to humanity. Like, this is like anti-human. It's like so great. And listen, not that you know the comparison, but like Chainsaw Man, great example of definitely a mix of 3D and 2D, but does so not in, I feel like, the scenes that matter, which are like flashy, big action scenes.
Tell me, Chainsaw Man was hand-drawn?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was heavy animated.
There's a mix. Oddly enough, with Chainsaw Man, and you actually see this used in the manga itself, 3D is done actually for, if you will, the nonsense type of shots of like characters just hanging around.
Okay.
All the flash, all the meat, if you will, is done in 2D. So, I don't know. It's tough because I feel like whether he wanted to or not, or whatever the production decisions may be, Hosoda is really dead set on really,
It's happening.
Exactly. It's happening whether we want it or not. So I think the good note here is that it looks way better than it did in Belle. And if he continues this IMAX type of release schedule, I think that's good news as well. I would say overall this was pretty good. Certainly a step up from Hosoda's last film in nearly every way, and certainly when it comes to originality, because it felt like, again, a completely new step for him in genre-wise. I don't know when it'll get kicked out, but seeing this in IMAX was really great to experience, and I hope more anime movies in general will get that chance to benefit from. In the meantime, though, I am going to be still here hoping for more from our director, as you can see the heights of his project from this episode, and I just know he has the inspiration to reach them again. We're going to go ahead and give Scarlet a 66.
Okay, 66%. That's still a good film.
Yeah.
And I think you did a
solid.
Yeah, I like the story behind it. I think it sounds very cool, honestly. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come up on HBO Max when this hits streaming.
Yep.
And if it's super accessible, I think I can find myself watching it just to kind of get that idea. I don't think the animation is going to bother me as much as you, because you've been a part of this culture for 2 decades plus.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And attached to this director specifically.
Right. Someone who's more fresh to it might just be like, okay, this is just what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I do like that idea. Very good. I mean, any notes looking at these scores, Vin? Any final thoughts?
Like I said, if you are new to anime and want to take a dip into it, I feel like two really stand out here. Summer Wars and Wolf Children. In a way that before we've now covered them have always been in the holster. They've been something I would recommend new watchers. So I think...
And they give it my stamp of approval on that, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Which really says something.
The biggest... let's not brush over that. That is probably the most shining review possible. It took me how many words to express this? You're just like, yeah, I actually liked it, and that should drive it home. For my anime fans out there, some of the producers that have written in about this, I mean, there's an aspect here of just like, I feel like these were immensely enjoyable rewatches and really, really made the week to watch this.
And I think that because of the heart, there is an actual human element in these cartoons.
right. Yeah.
Which is awesome. A really, really good week. Anything for next week coming up, Vin? Roll credits. What do you want to do?
You know what's next week.
I mean, you're a madman. I'm on the ride with you.
Stop.
I'm on the train.
You were so supportive of this. You're not pulling back.
No, I'm not pulling back.
It is Wuthering Heights week.
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff. I don't get... Okay, so I've slowly now been...
British film.
I've been slowly dipping into like the story and shit.
Yeah.
I can't take that he's named Heathcliff. Like I don't know. I don't understand why he's named Heathcliff. I know it's a stupid thing to pick to have.
You got a problem with it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I mean whatever. How about this? You want to take bets? Which version? We're watching 4 versions of Wuthering Heights.
Yes. Okay.
Week. Okay. I mean,
there's a 1939 one with Laurence Olivier. Apparently, very, very faithful. 1970 with Timothy Dalton. I'm expecting that one to have the most
young
sauce.
Timmy Dalton. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm expecting that one to be hot.
Yeah.
We have a 1992 one with Ray Fiennes.
And our girl. Not Jessie Buckley. Come on.
Well, Jessie Buckley too early.
No. I know, of course. Come on. Let me look. Okay, let me look it up. It's Taste of Things. Was she not in Anatomy of a Fall? Am I thinking the same?
Maybe
2 different people.
Maybe.
Keep going. Keep talking.
And then the new one, Wuthering Heights, from Emerald Fennell, with of course, the 2 leads, whatever their name are. We're out of gas. We're out of gas.
Juliette Binoche.
Oh, okay.
Or Binoche.
Who's
in Taste of Things, yeah.
Yes. I will say our hype on the new one might bite us in the ass.
I know. The review embargo has been lifted.
And pretty spooky, honestly. I feel like I'm particularly kicking myself because I've always had a beef with Emerald Fennell and like how her movies come off maybe a little flippant. They're like,
Yeah.
It ends how I want it to end, you know what I mean?
Right.
We talked about that with Saltburn. We definitely talked about with Promising Young Woman. I fear our hype will work against us.
I don't know how much hype I have. I mean, honestly.
Well, listen.
And I don't know what to see first. I don't know if I should go in chronological order. I mean, I really don't know what to think about this one here. But I know I got to get watching because I told you I watch all 4. Which one do you think will be best?
I will say not that it's the most dusty or most like play-like. I am interested in the 1939 one, Laurence Olivier, because what do we always say about 39?
It's one of the best years.
One of the best years.
Trust me, it came across my mind.
Yeah, I would be very happy to say like, yep, that's another feather in the cap of 1939.
My guess is 1939. And just like Juliette Binoche and Ray Fiennes. It's going to be in 1992. There's going to be Timothy Dalton. I feel like it's going to be too something low budget is speaking to me about it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting like 70s porno from that. Like it's not going to be faithful at all.
And the new one, honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I think it's going to look really good.
I think
it's going to look fantastic.
There is, I mean, we can obviously talk about this next week, but there is a serious kickback from fans of Wuthering Heights, the book.
When did it come out? Mid 1800s?
Yeah, it's Charlotte Bronte or one of the Bronte sisters.
Yeah.
I love this. Like this is our proto research for the episode.
1847. Yeah, mid 1800s.
Yeah. There's something there though that I feel like is seriously working against it for Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights, where it's like it's not faithful enough, and I feel like there's maybe an overreaction, and that's where we're getting like these bottom of the barrel scores that this movie is getting.
Well, we certainly don't care about the book.
Right, exactly.
So we might be able to just enjoy the VistaVision of it all.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. And I'm hoping
this skin bedroom. Do you know about the skin bedroom?
Ew.
Okay, well, buckle in.
It's a horror.
I'm ready for this marketing campaign to be over with, that's for sure.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, enough. Hey, like, Margot, you're married to another man, so chill out, please. Vin, thank you. So that'll be for next week, folks. Vin, as far as this week goes, it was a great week. Thank you for the reviews. Thanks for watching. Worth the tears, can we say. Folks, we'll run it down one more time. We've got The Girl Who Leapt Through Time with a 68%, Summer Wars with a 81, Wolf Children with an 83, and newly released Scarlet with a 66%. It's always a blast. Thank you so much. Thank you to our producer. We'll see you on the new show for Tuesday, and we'll have Vincent Daly right back here in the chair next Thursday on the Daily Ratings Podcast. And hey, if you enjoyed the podcast, if you would, give us a good rating or get the word out and tell a friend about us. And just a reminder that the Daily Ratings is completely producer supported. We want to stay away from advertising, and we don't want to have any paywalls or tier structures or subscriptions. It's all just value for value. So, are you finding value in what we're doing here at the Daily Ratings? Then become a producer and donate whatever amount of value that is. Just go to the donations tab on thedailyratings.com, and while you're there, be sure to check out the massive amount of films that Vince has rated. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Daily Ratings Podcast.